going to show you how to put anything into a painting and make it look like it's part of that painting, almost like it's been painted by the same artist. So we're starting out with a really famous painting here. This is Starry Night by Van Gogh, and you've probably seen it before. And I've gone ahead and opened it up into Photoshop, so you can do a Command O or a File Open to open it. Then I've saved it as a different name than the original file. So it doesn't matter what that name is, but you want to do a Command Shift S to save as, or a File Save As, and save that as just something different. Then you want to open up that original painting file again. So again, Command O or File Open, and you'll open up that original Starry Night painting. What you'll end up with is two different documents with the same painting on them. And then you want to view those both at the same time. So you probably don't see the view that I'm seeing now, but for you to see both of the paintings at once, you can just go to Window, Arrange, and then choose to up vertical. And then you get this. Now you can also kind of adjust this. Oh, there we go. You can kind of adjust this so that you see a little bit more of one painting or a little bit less of the other. So that's up to you, or you can keep them both even or change them as you're going along. All right, once we get to this point, now we need to place something kind of unique into our painting. So I'm going to find the file that I've already saved. I'm just going to go ahead and place embedded. So go to File, Place Embedded. And then I'm going to choose my file and place. If this pop-up screen comes up, just hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and hit Enter or Return to set this. And then I'm going to go to my Move tool, make sure Show Transform Controls is on, and I'm going to scale him down so that he fits in the painting a little bit better. Whenever you scale, always hold the Shift key and pull from the corner so that you don't make him too skinny or too fat, too wide. You just keep that proportion all the way down. Okay, once you have it the size that you want, you can hit Enter or Return, and that will set it right there. One last thing I would like to do with this image is I would like to flip it. So I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and Flip Horizontal so that I can just reposition that, and then I'll just angle him a little bit here and hit Enter again. All right, so this is great. I've got him in the painting, but now I need to mask him. So I need to go to my Quick Selection tool, make sure that I'm selected on the layer that I would like to mask, and then I'm going to click into my character here so that I can select what I would like to see. Now, if you over select, which you can see I have done here, let me zoom in so you can see a little bit better. You can hold down the Option key and then click through here and deselect. Also notice up at the top there's a plus and a minus, so if you don't have the option of the Option key for some reason, you can also click on the minus and that will do the same thing. And we're looking pretty good. I'm not too disappointed with that selection. Doesn't have to be, oh, that wasn't going to work though. Doesn't have to be super perfect, but really close because it is still going to be kind of painterly, so it doesn't have to be quite as precise as we would normally do, but you still want it to be pretty close. Once you have this, you're going to click on the little mask icon, the layer mask icon, which is at the bottom of your layers panel, and it looks like a little Japanese flag, a rectangle with a circle in the center. And there we go. Now, I could just stop at this point. I could kind of move him over, get him in the spot that I like, and say I'm done. But the problem here is that he still looks like I've just placed a photo into a painting. So I really need to make him look like he's been painted in originally with all of the other things. So this is where our other painting comes into play. What we need to do is we need to select parts of our character over here. So I'm going to go to my polygonal lasso, and that's that lasso with kind of the points on it. And I'm going to start clicking through and selecting parts of my character. So I'm going to just try to click as closely as I can to this segment of his cape. Now, like I said, I'm just choosing parts of the character, so you do not want to do a selection over the entire character. You just want to select kind of these areas that almost have, I like to call it directionality, have a directionality to them. So this cape has a directionality of going up and down. So you can kind of see those little folds in the fabric and the way that it folds over his shoulder. It kind of has one direction here. So that is what I'm looking for as I'm selecting these different little bits in that character. Once I have that selection, I want to click and drag it over to my other painting. So you'll see I have a little white square and a white arrow on my cursor here. If I click and drag this over to my other painting, now it'll look like it gets kind of stuck here on the original document, but if I let go, it'll show up in this other painting. I can position this selection on an area of the painting that has that kind of same directionality. So again, I want to look for brush strokes that are in the same direction as that cape. So I'm not going to position this over here where the circle is because that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I am going to put it over here where the tree is so I can kind of capture these brush strokes and it is kind of going in generally the same direction as the cape. Once I have it there, I'm going to hit Command C to copy. Then I'm just going to click right back here into my other document and hit Command V to paste. Now, again, that looks pretty good, but I really want to be able to see a little bit of the cape underneath. So here you can see this layer that I've pasted on there. What I want to do with that layer is go up here to where my blend modes are, and it'll just be this drop-down menu that says normal. Click on that and choose a blend mode. Now, multiply can be good sometimes. That can create a nice blend mode where you can see something underneath. In this case, it's made it too dark. So we might also want to try overlay, soft light, lighten and screen can sometimes work really well too. But you can kind of experiment with these. So try a couple different options and see what you get. So there's overlay. There's soft light. I kind of like soft light because I'm starting to maybe see a little bit of that cape underneath, maybe not so much. Another thing that you can do is if you don't feel like any of those blend modes are really giving you enough of the cape underneath, you can also go up to your opacity and you can lower that down a little bit too. So that as you lower that down, you might be able to see a little bit of that cape underneath. All right. So I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to speed this up. The process is the same. You're just going to keep making selections, pulling it over, hitting Command C to copy, and then Command V to paste. Okay, so I've basically gotten him stylized within the style of the painting. And now if I want to move him and scale him anymore, I have to move and scale all those individual parts that I've already created. So one thing you can do is you can go over here in your layers, click your layer that your character is in, and then hold your Shift key down and click on the top layer that you've created. And then while you're holding that Shift key down, click on the New Group tab down at the bottom of your layers. It just looks like a little file folder. So if you click on that, it'll be all of those things will be put into one group. And Group 1 is a fine title for it, but you can title it anything else if you'd like as well. And now if I go to my Move tool, I can move all of these individual layers around and reposition him. I could also still scale him up and down while holding that Shift key. So I'm going to scale him down a little bit here, reposition him, and then I'm done. So then all I have to do is save the image with my character as a JPEG. If you want to make any edits to it, you also want to save it as a PSD file as well. And that is it.